Welcome back. This is Bruce, the Numbers Guru, uncut and unfiltered, and in my workshop. Because why? Why not? Because I can. It is chaos, but it's also a source of inspiration for myself, and it's also super quiet. So anyway, why we have dealt with time management being a myth in a different video, and you can go and have a listen or watch that. So we're going to make sure that you can manage your time by tracking your time. That's the only way that time management is not a myth. So how do you do it? Well, it's actually very, very easy. There are a number of options, and you go through. Don't Google search it. Don't go onto the app stores and type in time tracking app, because you will come up with hundreds. And the premise behind them is all the same. How much you get for the value or the trials or the whatevers or the money is oh so relative. And you really don't have to pay for any of them. I've tried a number of them, 3 or 4. Anything that any name dropping that I do in this video, I'm not affiliated to any of them. I have just tried them, and they haven't worked. They worked for a while, and then they sort of didn't, and then things move on, and I stopped doing it, and then tried another one, and then whatever. So the first one I did try was inside my accounting package called Sage 1 Business Accounting Cloud. I don't know what they call it now, but it's the online Sage version, and very good. Nothing wrong with it. The basics are all the same. I've tried Toggle. I've tried Clockify. I've tried, I can't even remember how many I've tried, but they are all the same, really. They're all free. You do not have to pay for a time tracking app, but the basics are all the same. So what do you need? You need, one, obviously the date. Okay, well that makes sense. 2, you need the client or project or whatever you're working on. And 3, you can either have a start and an end time, so you've got the 2 times and then the total, or you can just write whatever the amount of minutes or hours that you spent on them. Yes, you do have to time it. You can't just go, oh yeah, maybe I spent. No, you didn't. And this is where the time management comes into it, and the time spent doing this comes into it, because you can spend a long time writing things down. Oh, I did an email for 2 minutes, and I went to make a cup of coffee, so I can't time that. And then don't be too hard on yourself to start. I for years and years and years, 5 years of my audit days, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I was doing every day. Whether it was useful or not, I don't know. It wasn't any use to me. But when I started my accounting practice, and now also the coaching, I spent a long time trying to figure out how to do this. And then, I wrote 2 minutes for an email. Oh, no. Don't be too hard. Down to the second is not worth it. Okay? You're not going to charge per second. Okay? If anything, you're going to charge per 15 minutes, per hour, but in blocks of 15 minutes is probably the best way to do it. So, if you skip out if you go to the bathroom or you go make a cup of coffee, it's not going to make a huge difference, but you have to time it. You can't, let's say for instance, I'm working on a client, on a coaching client, and like half an hour goes past, and then 35 minutes and 40 minutes, and then something comes up and I've got to respond to it immediately. So I press stop at 40 minutes. I press start on whatever client or whatever I'm working on at the moment. And then once I've done this little fire that I've had to put out, I start again on the same client that I stopped just now. As soon as you go into emails, social media, or anything, chances are you're going to have to stop it. Unless you are going on to do something. For instance, if I'm doing marketing for the Numbers Guru, I'll do something here and then I'll make it sort of this, and then I'll go into social media and I'll post it. Okay, so that's work. Going and doom scrolling on YouTube or social media is not work. And don't tell me it is, because it isn't. Okay, you can lose hours like that. Okay, don't kid yourself, don't kid me or anybody else in the fact that you're scrolling to see what clients are up to. You're not. The classic version, or the classic one that I had in a company was, no, I'm chatting on Facebook, looking for clients. No, you're not. You know, they were looking for high-end clients. No. And I could tell that they were mates in the way they were talking to them. They weren't. Okay, so don't kid yourself here. You can say that you did it for 40 minutes and you only did it for 20. You're only kidding yourself. And at the end of the month, or end of the week, or end of the month, when you go through your billing or you go through your time, you add up everything, and then you go, wow, I spent 20 hours on that client. Did you? If you've been honest with yourself, then you did. If not, then you've no idea. You've wasted your time. Okay? And this is me being uncut and unfiltered, because there's no reason to talk yourself nonsense. There's no reason, nobody's going to pick you up on this. You're the only one who's going to, who's not going to benefit from it. Where you might, I go through periods where I do loads of prep work for coaching clients, and I do, I go through, as an accountant, I go through tax season, and I learn, over the last couple of months, since the beginning of the year, since I've started using my new time management method, I've learned that I do X, Y, and Z, and it takes 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 8 minutes, and you learn what you spend on a client. You learn what you do, how long it takes to, create an advert, or email a proposal to so-and-so, or, build a table, or whatever. So it is critical that you do it accurately. And please don't go down the rabbit hole like I did when you get to the end of the week and you've only done 20 hours. Okay? There needs to be something done about that, but that's where time management comes in. See, it was a myth, you've tracked your time, and it is no longer a myth because you know where you spent it. Now, personally, I don't use an app, I use a book. It just works for me, it's got colors on it, and it works for my ADD brain, okay? I don't expect anybody else to do it the same as me. What works for you, works for you. What works for me, what works for me. You can copy me, I can happily show you if you want, but it works for me. So at the end of the month, I can go through and say, I spent that much time on that client, and I'm charging them that much. Wow, okay, I'm good. A client of mine last year said to me, the previous accountant is claiming that he spent 124 hours in a month on my stuff. There are 4 companies involved. And I said to him, well, that's excessive, because A, there's not a lot of money, not a lot of work, and B, 120 hours in a month, that's pretty full time, that, for one person, which it was. And I went back and I went, right, well, I spent 40 or I spent 20 or I can't remember the numbers, it doesn't matter. But I was able to go back, and when you're quoting for clients and you're quoting for a new client and you say, oh no, I'm going to do this and that, and he wants this, and he wants a tax return, and he wants a design, or he wants inlaid table instead of just a normal typical one piece or a resin table or whatever. You go, the last one I did, roughly the same size, took me 10 hours plus all the rest of it. Right, I'm going to charge him X amount. That design, the last time, it's going to be very quick. Took me half an hour. I'm going to charge him for half an hour, and I'm going to charge him that much because I know it's going to take half an hour. I know certain clients of mine for like month-end payroll, 10 minutes. Very few people, very limited work, but that's what it takes because I've learned over the years, over the number of years that I've tracked time. So let's make time management a myth. You want to get hold of me, all the links and everything is in the description below. Here's the mandatory like and describe. You can like and describe it if you want. I prefer you to like and subscribe it. There goes the unfiltered and uncut. Like and subscribe, that's the mandatory thing. I don't like doing it, but there it is. And let's have a chat. Let's make sure that you manage your time, you track your time, you manage your time, and then you charge what you're worth. Until next time, cheers.